Last time, our protagonists encountered a pretty fearsome foe. While they may have unlocked the Super Saiyan form, they came face to face with the legendary Super Saiyan, that being Broly. They were barely able to beat him, but in the end they came out victorious. But where does that lead everyone next? We'll find out all that and more in this part 7 of What If Bardock Raised Kakarot. Vegeta and Nappa immediately have a new goal in mind. They've become Super Saiyans, but it appears that's still not enough. They don't know what it is about these other 5 Saiyans, but somehow, their power keeps increasing by the day. They continuously break their limits and defeat even stronger foes than the last. Vegeta thought he was at the peak of Saiyan performance, but multiple times that was proven wrong. There's always someone stronger out there. They'll find a way to truly surpass this family once and for all, and not just with the Super Saiyan, with something else. They'll go even beyond Super Saiyan. They'll find a power beyond that. Although he does have to admire how quickly they've grown. They truly have the resolve of Saiyan warriors. He's especially surprised in Raditz, someone who was once the weakest in his group, who is now showing much more promise than before, but Vegeta and Nappa still believe it's best to go on their own, just like they were before. And as for Bardock and family, well, they're just gonna return back to Yardrat. They do kinda wanna explore the universe though. Yardrat is nice, it's peaceful there, and they know the planet well if they've lived there for so long, but they kinda feel like they can go to other places. Especially with the ability to teleport literally anywhere they want as long as they can sense it, this is something that does cross their mind. But for now, they will just stay here. It is easier after all. But while Yardrat is peaceful, of course there's always people out in the universe looking to cause trouble. Bardock hasn't had any visions recently though. He wonders if they're truly going to encounter some huge threat, something that they really can't handle. But for now, he feels content. It's the first time in a while he's felt this way. The first time he wasn't worried about someone coming to attack them. There's no Frieza, no Cooler. Vegeta and Nappa are on good terms with them. And while there was Broly, that was kind of a one-off thing. And after all, Paragus and Broly were more so after Vegeta than them. It is a good thing they were there though, because otherwise Vegeta and Nappa would have been completely decimated. But there's no one else that's out there looking for them, right? Well, the series isn't over yet, so obviously there is. But it's kind of from an unexpected place. An old enemy that Bardock fought long ago. With Frieza, King Cold, and Cooler being completely destroyed, there's a power vacuum out in space. And it's not that someone's going to try and take that vacuum. It's more so that the fact that the power vacuum exists, well, it's costing people money. Mainly people like the Heaters. Business hasn't been so great lately. Without Frieza or Cold, they haven't really been as successful. Frieza and Cold had a much wider reach, and working with them allowed them to make a lot more money. Business is a lot tougher now, so every planet counts. And recently, they actually lost a planet that they had in mind. One that they were going to try and clear out, but surprisingly, it appears the planet might actually be stronger than they thought. Currently, it's an unnamed planet, but it's actually the same one that Paragus claimed as new planet Vegeta. The Heaters actually had their eye on it, but they don't really have much control over it, so Paragus was able to go there, taking control of it himself. They have been monitoring it and picked up a lot of huge powers there. Also, a comet almost struck it and somehow was just blown up instantly. But they did find something interesting. There was a ship that left new planet Vegeta, going to some other random planet that they don't know about. And this is where their info gets spotty, but some ship went from that planet before to a planet called Yardrat. They have been monitoring pretty much every ship in the area for a while, especially because this one used to belong to the Frieza Force. This is actually Vegeta and Nappa's ship, and they've tracked every movement for the past few years, thinking that some remain of the Frieza Force. But even though it wasn't at Yardrat recently, they do keep that in mind that it was there at one point. They also know that at some points, the Ginyu Force and Cooler went to Yardrat. They've heard a rumor of other Saiyans existing, one particularly being called the legendary Super Saiyan. And they think the legendary Super Saiyan was the one that was on that planet, trying to defend it from that meteor. But he's an issue. With him in the way, they're not going to be able to take over the planet. And it does seem pretty valuable. The materials there can make it so the planet sells for a pretty penny. But it seems it's going to be tough. They don't actually know that there's multiple Saiyans out there that are Super Saiyans. All they know is that there's one that's potentially called the legendary Super Saiyan, and they assume that Kakarot's that person. That huge power that they detected right before the meteor was destroyed. They actually detected a few huge powers, specifically Broly and Kakarot, as well as the other Super Saiyans. But maybe this is an opportunity. The legendary Super Saiyan is taking business from them. But maybe there's a good way to eliminate him while also getting rid of another problem that they have, Granola. It's perfect. They'll send Granola to get rid of the legendary Super Saiyan, and hopefully they'll just destroy each other. Granola stands no chance against the legendary Super Saiyan. And they tell him about the job, hoping that he goes out and he's completely fine just taking care of it himself. And Granola can't believe what he's hearing. Frieza and Cooler are gone, and he's been living a life of relative peace because of that. Well, besides the fact that he's working for the Heaters. He's just glad that Frieza and Cooler are dead. But hearing that Saiyans are still alive, especially one called the legendary Super Saiyan, that doesn't sit right with him. Especially because this Saiyan might be a threat to him. He has access to space travel apparently, and with him going between planets, maybe he's a mercenary as well. He's apparently on some planet called Yardrat now. But Granola's gonna need more power to fight him. He might be walking into certain death by going just now. But thankfully, he has the perfect tool to help him. He has Planet Cereal's Dragon Balls. He has to be stronger than the legendary Super Saiyan, asking for power far beyond that. He could use this to finally get rid of the Saiyans. Especially if there's a supposedly berserk Saiyan with huge power out there, who knows if he's the next on his list. Granola needs to be really sure that he's safe, and actually, he could use this power to get rid of the heaters as well. The wish does compress his lifespan, but actually not by a lot. Surpassing everyone in the universe in Dragon Ball Super took basically his entire life. But here, the leap in power isn't going to be nearly as massive, especially because he isn't competing with people who are literal gods. His wish is essentially putting him far beyond Broly at his peak. Maybe it takes off a year at best. Pretty insignificant to someone who could live 200 years. It might even be less than that. Point being, he doesn't hesitate at all. He makes the wish, gaining the strength and finally heading out for Yardrat. He does his research on this planet and apparently the people there have pretty weird powers. He wonders why the Super Saiyan was going here. And the weirdest part is, as he looks into the data that the heaters gave him, the ship never went directly from Yardrat to New Planet Vegeta. There's actually been multiple ships going between planets. Paragus actually went to Vegeta and Nappa, with Raditz and family then teleporting over there, then going to New Planet Vegeta. But there actually was a point before where they saw a cooler ship going to Yardrat, with rumblings of him being defeated by a Saiyan there, with the ship then leaving that place too. Really, they have no data about what's going on. They've actually tracked multiple ships jumping between planets. They don't know who the legendary Super Saiyan is. He lands far away on the planet, locating a couple of signatures from far away. This is perfect. If there are actually Saiyans here, if you could just snipe them from far away and get rid of them without them even noticing, that would be perfect. None of the powers here seem particularly high. But as he scouts around, he does come across people that clearly look like Saiyans. One of them is a large man with long hair. He definitely looks like a Saiyan, and his armor is a dead giveaway as well. It's a male and a female Saiyan fighting. He'll take both of them out. Raditz and Ruda are training together right now. So they're not completely off guard, but still, they aren't expecting someone to attack them. And at the very last second, Raditz senses a power spike nearby. This causes him to turn around, shifting his body just enough so he's not hit at a vital point, but still, he's hit by one of Granola's sniping attacks. Immediately after, one comes right towards Ruda too, and she's barely able to teleport out of the way, going right to where Raditz is, using this to quickly avoid the attack. The two look around, and once they realize that they're being sniped by someone, they decide to take shelter somewhere. Granola has both hands pointed out, and he's about to simultaneously land a fatal blow on both of them, but the two just disappear. The second he fired the shot, they teleported away, and this allowed Ruda to figure out where the shot was coming from. So there's two Saiyans here. That could be a problem. But he knows of just one legendary Super Saiyan, so maybe it's not that bad. Besides, his wish should help him. He did have to keep his power low, but if he were using his full power, one shot would have eliminated both of them at once without giving them even a chance to dodge it. But how are they moving that quickly? It's almost like they were teleporting. And immediately after, 3 other people teleport in, and they're different Saiyans. It's Gine, Bardock, and Kakarot. They're then surrounded by a golden aura, powering up into Super Saiyan. The shot was enough to injure Raditz in his base and almost kill him if it hit anywhere else, so they're not playing around here. Granola's still far away, but he's changed his position, and the first Saiyan in his sights is the one with the bandana, Bardock. He doesn't even realize it's the same person that he met so many years ago. He can't really remember it, and for a second he does hesitate, but seeing that Saiyan's face, some Saiyan with a scar on his face, it makes him take a second before he shoots, but he brushes off the weird feeling. Granola then jumps around rapidly, launching a flurry of ki blasts down at them. They're not powerful ki blasts, they're meant to be a distraction. It amidst the flurry of blast, there's one precise one launched right at Bardock, hitting him at a vital point in his chest, instantly knocking him unconscious. Granola then jumps high up in the air, charging a massive blast aimed at Gine and Kakarot. And right as he's about to fire it, he senses their power increase. That wasn't their full strength. They all could transform, but they can't all be the legendary Super Saiyan, so what is that power that they're using? And right as he's about to fire his blast, someone teleports right in front of him, kicking him right in the chin. The blast fires up in the sky, exploding. He looks down, seeing Ruda in front of him. That same Saiyan from before. She says she hopes Granola didn't forget about her. And she works as a perfect distraction because at the same time, Gine and Kakarot can teleport in, also attacking Granola simultaneously. And while Ruda caught him off guard, that's the last time they're going to catch him off guard. Their combined power isn't enough to actually face Granola. It's been a few months since they faced Broly, but still, you have to consider how powerful Broly was and how powerful the wish would have made Granola. They have grown stronger, but individually none of them would stand a chance against him, at least not at their current strength. Collectively though, they might be able to hold this guy off, but who is he? Raditz actually teleported in to retrieve Bardock, and Bardock wakes up not too long after. Damn it, he doesn't want another fight that he's not going to be involved in. Thankfully Raditz seems okay. Raditz might be out of commission for this fight, but Bardock's glad that he's at least fine, and he thanks Raditz for helping him retreat. And it's strange, they were fighting a sniper. It's almost like the sniper knew exactly where to hit them. He knocked Bardock out with one shot. And Raditz says he didn't really get a good look at the guy, but he tells Bardock the sniper was some green-haired guy. He couldn't tell what species the guy was. And in terms of clothing, it wasn't any armor that they've seen before. It's some sort of old-fashioned green outfit. Wait, a green-haired sniper in a green outfit. That rings a bell for Bardock for some reason. And then it hits him. There's no way it could actually be a Cerulean, right? No, it can't be. They were all wiped out after all. But there was one survivor back then, and Raditz asks what he means. He thinks he's heard Vegeta mention that species in passing, but they're gone, right? And Bardock starts to put the pieces together. He can't believe it. He knows exactly who's here. He stands up and almost loses his balance. He's still a little bit dizzy from being hit like that. But it can't be that Cerealian, right? That one that he saved so long ago, Granola his name was or something. There's no way he could have gotten that much power. And also, why would he be here after them? How did he even find them? Granola continues fighting Gine, Kakarot, and Ruda. While Granola's own abilities are impressive, their abilities are just as helpful. To trip Granola up, they create clones of themselves. This guy clearly is stronger than them individually, but they could beat him with strategy. Granola says this won't stop him. He came here to destroy the legendary Super Saiyan, and it doesn't matter if there's a few of them, he'll get rid of them all. He focuses, trying to not get phased by all their different strategies. First he locks onto Ruda, and with one single strike, he knocks her completely unconscious. This is going to make things a lot easier. Now it's a 2v1. Kakarot's clearly the stronger of the two. He's going to be an issue, but with Gine there, that still makes it tricky. If he's facing just Kakarot alone, that should be enough. So he aims for Gine next. And of course Kakarot's not going to let it happen that easily. He still wants to know who this guy is and why he's here. But Granola says there's no point in revealing that, and he's able to land a powerful attack on Kakarot. Striking him at a vital point, it isn't enough to knock him out, but he feels the pain from it, catching him briefly off guard, just enough for Granola to defeat Gine as well. She's the next to fall to the ground. So Granola counts 5 Saiyans. He doesn't think he's killed all of them. He did hit 2 of them, and he thinks he actually did kill Bardock. He doesn't know how Raditz is holding up, but it shouldn't be too hard to kill him. He says Kakarot's the last thing standing in his way. And he does commend him. Considering they're legendary Super Saiyans or something, they definitely do live up to the name. But unfortunately their power is not enough to match with him. He's glad he could finally get rid of them though. But he does have one thing to thank Kakarot for. He thanks him for getting rid of Frieza and Cooler. That makes his life much easier, but he'll truly be at peace once these Saiyans are gone. Kakarot clutches where he was just hit before. He's not going to go down that easily. Granola's pointing at him point blank, and Kakarot quickly teleports to his side, but Granola expected that, swinging his arm quick enough to almost hit Kakarot. But Kakarot then changes size to move out of the way, shrinking. He then quickly grows large, swinging a fist at Granola. Although, growing in size doesn't increase its power. It just catches Granola off guard, so that's another one of his abilities too, but it seems like that was his last resort. Kakarot quickly returns to normal size, trying to fight the best he can. He's desperately using all his techniques to try and avoid Granola's attacks. One strike is enough to kill him, and he's not going to let it happen like that. And Granola notes something interesting. His power, it's increasing as he fights. He knew the legendary Super Saiyan continued growing stronger with rage, apparently being some berserk nightmare according to the Heaters. So is that what he's about to witness? The Saiyan going berserk? He's not going to give it a chance to happen, but it seems like it's already too late. He's pushed Kakarot to his limit, defeated all his allies. Kakarot's the last one standing. He needs to do something. And Granola says it's time to finish it. He points 2 fingers out and then swings his arm back as he lunges his finger forward. This strike will kill Kakarot. But something strange happens. There's a burst of power from it. The sheer explosion of Kakarot's ki is enough to almost repel Granola's fingers as he's flung back from the pressure of it. Kakarot's ki fully explodes as he takes on a slightly different appearance. His hair, it's spiked more fiercely. There's electricity sparking around him. But the most noticeable change is its power. Granola can sense that it's increased dramatically. Kakarot doesn't even realize it in the heat of battle, but he's ascended the power of a Super Saiyan. He vanishes from sight once more, and Granola tries to predict where he'll be, but Kakarot's just teleporting rapidly around him. He's too fast now for Granola to track. Even with his expert eyesight and reflexes, he can't defend against it. Kakarot's able to finally catch Granola off guard, hitting him with powerful attacks, dealing significant damage, and he holds nothing back. He'll defeat this guy once and for all. So this really is the power of a legendary Super Saiyan. But Granola doesn't get it. He wished to be stronger than that legendary Super Saiyan. Did he just grow stronger than the wish made him? No, that can't be it. He's got to be missing something. The two get ready to clash once more, but right when they're about to, Bardock then teleports in the middle of both of them, having a hand stretched out each side, telling each of them to stop. He tells them calm down, this is a misunderstanding, and he looks over and sees how fierce the battle truly has gotten. Ruda and Gine are unconscious on the ground nearby. Granola's pretty badly beaten, so is Kakarot, but he's gained a new power as well. And he can tell the power is almost consuming Kakarot, but he tells him to just calm down a moment. Same for Granola. Granola asks how he's still alive. He thought he killed that guy, and why is he trying to stop this? But once Bardock gets a good look at him, it confirms everything. It's exactly like he thought. This is the Cerealian he saved so long ago. Wait, what does he mean? And he asks Granola, doesn't he remember? Back when the Saiyans originally attacked the planet, Bardock was there. He was there with Granola, his mother, and Manaido. He fought against the Heaters, and Granola could barely recall it, but that does sound familiar, and he knows the name of his mother and Manaido. But this isn't making sense, and Bardock could tell. He said something correct. Yeah, Manaido. Ask him. He remembers Manaido survived. If Granola truly doesn't believe them, he could ask Manaido. And Kakarot's just as confused too, surprisingly even powering down because Granola's completely out of the fight now. How does Bardock know all of this? And more importantly, did the Heaters know all this too? Did they mislead him? No, it can't be. Granola doesn't know what to think, but this is where we'll leave off for now. What'd you guys think about this part? And what's going to happen next time? Leave your thoughts and suggestions in the comments below. I'd love to see what you guys think. As usual, be sure to drop a like and subscribe. It shows me you want to see more like this, and it really helps with the channel. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.